It is Friday, it is the 13th, and you know I cannot go past a Friday the 13th without reviewing at least one Jason figure. And I've had this for quite a while now. I mean, I think I've had it for close to, I don't know, 6-7 months. I did buy it last year at some point, and I never got around to reviewing it, and I figured, today is the perfect day to take a look at Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. Now, while probably a lot of people don't like Friday the 13th Part 5, mostly because it's a fake Jason, I personally thought it was a really great film. I do think it's one of the underrated films of the series, because it's just a weird, and it is kind of funny movie, and it's goofy, and all of that, but that's the reason I like it. And I was really, really hoping that NECA would get around to making Roy, and they finally did. So here we go. We actually have Roy from Friday the 13th Part 5. I kind of understand why they went with this cover for the figure. I personally probably would not have done that, even though it was the mask for the poster, or, part of the look for the poster. And it's not even really the Jason mask. It has squares for holes, and I don't know. It's just one of those. Why? I have no idea. But yeah, that's the cover they chose to put on this as well. Now, the actual box is a collector's box, so you can open it up if you choose not to actually open the entire thing. You can choose to display it like this. But I don't buy figures to keep in a box and hang on the wall and just, look at inside the box. I buy these to actually take them out and look at them and check out the detail on all these figures. As you guys who've been watching the channel know this. So let's open up old Roy here and take a look at him. Here we go, Roy from Friday the 13th Part 5. First off, one thing I can say about Roy, and again, it's just a weird thing for me because usually I love classic Jason. I mean, I always will love classic Jason, but there's something just about the mask where he has these crazy big blue stripes, the chevrons. I mean, it makes no sense whatsoever as for the rest of the Jasons. But I've always liked the mask. I don't know what it is about it. It's just kind of a cool looking mask, even though it's completely out of the park of what Jason's mask ever was, or ever will be, probably. Still, I don't know. There's something weird about the blue stripes on this mask that I've always liked. So, let's take a look at the detail here on Roy. First off, one thing that I absolutely love is the mask, as I was just talking about. It's a really well done mask. It's very well made. The straps have, you can see, they actually have like the metal studs going across here. So the detail in it is just ridiculously nice. And if you look at the back of it, it actually has a split back here for Roy's mask. And I mean, that's going above and beyond NECA. That's really, really great that you did that. That is so cool. And you can also tell how white his head is, unlike some of the other Jasons, where it's actually like sort of supposed to be flesh toned like, but they actually made it to where it looks like a mask, which is of course what it is. So that's a really great job. Now, before I actually get to Roy's face, let's take a look at the rest of the body. So if you look down here closer, you can see he does have a cut mark across his gut here, where they did chop him. I believe it was with a machete. And it's actually really well done. You can see, the detail within inside the cut. And again, NECA is known for all of its fantastic detail, and that's why I love buying these Jason figures because of that. His back, also with all the wrinkles in the shirt and everything, looks fantastic. All the way down from the elastic on the belt, all the way through his legs. I mean, they really, really got fantastic detail throughout this entire figure. Both hands are really nicely detailed. They both look great. And you can see this hand here is closed, so you can put like a weapon or something inside of it. Also, I really need to point out his boots, or his shoes actually. They are extremely well detailed. I mean, to the silver here, where shoestrings go into, to the wrinkles, to the paint, I mean, the shoes look fantastic. And it even has like a area here where you can see his sock, his black sock. I guess I'm assuming that's what it's supposed to be. It even has stitches. The detail's crazy. You can actually see the stitches here on the shoes. Okay, so let's take a look at Roy and see if it actually looks like Roy, which I would assume it probably does, because out of all the other fantastic detail on this figure, that's the one thing they probably won't mess up. So here we go. Let's take off the mask and reveal the fake Jason. Da-da-dum, there he is. Wow, yeah, they nailed that face, didn't they? Yeah, that is definitely Roy. I love how they have a little bit of hair coming up. I love the fact that, you know, it even has the wear of the mask, where it looks like, you know, some of the paint's wore off. I mean, that's just really just crazy. It really is. If you take a look at that, it is so amazing. And he does have the split, like I was saying, and it actually goes all the way down the top of the mask to the back of it, because it's a fake mask. I don't know why it would go all the way down through it like that. I don't know if the movie version was like that or not, but normally a mask like this he would just pull over his head without really, I mean, he would probably make a small slit in the back, because I do have, you know, the Jason mask that I wear, and that's what I did. I had to cut the small slit and pull it over. So I don't know why it would go through the whole entire head like that, but it's still kind of cool that they did that. Now, if you want to see what the inside of the mask looks like, it's strangely blue. I don't know why. I don't know if that was like that in the movie as well. I never really paid much attention to it, but yeah, you have a blue inside of the Jason mask. So okay, so if you ever watched any of my other NECA reviews, especially for Jason, you know these deluxe figures come with a ton of accessories. And this one, of course, does as well. This thing is a flare, believe it or not. When I first saw it, I thought, is that a duster? I don't remember Jason ever dusting anything in Friday the 13th Part 5. I mean, it could have been a deleted scene. But no, it is not a duster, actually. It is a flare. And it's a very badly painted one. I don't know why they chose this paint scheme on this thing, but I think it would look better if it was maybe clear. If they were trying to make it look like fire, just give you a clear yellow flame or something. But instead, they kind of tried to make it look like it was coming out and set on fire. Then there was smoke coming up, and I gotta say, yeah, I don't see that. It's just a very weird looking accessory. We have a meat cleaver, and I do like the fact that they did bloody these up. A lot of times you'll get a Jason figure and there's no blood on any of the weapons, believe it or not. It's usually they're just, you know, clean looking weapons. So I'm glad they actually decided to finally put some blood on these weapons. And this is a scene where the guy was one of the more annoying scenes of the film, where the guy's riding around on his motorcycle and Jason comes out with his meat cleaver and just whoop and chops him in the head. So it's a nice looking meat cleaver. Next up, we have this, and this is a knife, obviously. It's a nice looking knife, too. It almost looks like Rambo's knife. And once again, we do have the bloody tip on there, and we have a wooden handle, and the detail here is really, really good. As you can see, the end of the wooden handle, you can see right there, is actually carved, so it looks like a piece of wood. So one thing that NECA really did with this is research. They did really extensive research and looked at every single weapon that was involved with this and made it as close as possible. Now we have some hedge clippers, even though they didn't clip any hedges, really. And I'm talking with them for some reason. Hello, I'm the hedge clippers. And I have blood on me, too. So, once again, every weapon he came with just about is bloodied. So, that's really nice. And just like the knife, once again, we got some really great detail on this. Like one of the edges here is serrated, the other one is not. And we even have, I guess it's supposed to be like a little bumper or something here. When you close it, it hits that. So yeah, just phenomenal detail in all these accessories. Now we have something that will probably get lost. This is a railroad spike. And there is no blood on this. It's a clean, very pristine railroad spike. But it's definitely, that's what it is. Now we have a two-part accessory. This was one of the more brutal murders that Jason did, or Roy did, in Part 5. As you can see, this is a stick, and the edge of it is actually broken off, which is, again, fantastic detail here. And this other end is also broken off. And what he did here was he basically took this rubber strap and put it on the ends of the stick, like so. And I'm assuming that's why they have the two little things sticking out there on the piece of wood. And he put it around somebody's head that was in front of a tree and just tightened it and just like broke the person's face. So, a great accessory that I don't know what I would ever do with it, but yeah, it's a really cool accessory. Of course, we cannot have Jason without having his classic machete. And the paint on here is actually pretty spectacular. They bloodied up the machete. Usually, like I said, they're clean, but this one they actually went above and beyond here and made like the dark blood, it went into the lighter half of the blood, and even had like a bloody streak that came off of it. So yeah, they did a really, really good job with this. The last of the accessories is this very large iron spike. And it's weird. I mean, it's huge, and I can't exactly remember what he used this. I'm sure he used it to murder somebody, obviously, in the movie, and my camera does not want to focus on the thing. But there's no blood on it, and it's kind of weird. Every other thing has blood on it except for this one. And it's really blurry, but trust me, there's no blood on it. The very last accessory is this. Is another alternate hand that you can put on him to where he can hold something in both hands, which is probably that big spike. Alright, so let's take a look at the good, shall we? First off, the good is obviously the detail and the paint and Roy's face. They really nailed that, and all the accessories and the crazy amount of detail that is in those accessories is pretty outstanding. All of that is definitely fantastic. NECA did an incredible job with the sculpt, and even the paint and everything here looks really, really good, except for, I guess, the flare that sort of looks like a broom. So other than that, everything looks really good. And with all the good, we also have the bad. And what is the bad here about Jason? Well, this is it. Jason will not stand up. There is no position so far that I've got him to stand in that he will stand on his own. I tried to put his arms forward. I tried to move his legs. He just will not stand up. And it's just weird that, I don't know, it's a balance issue, obviously. And I don't know why it's a balance issue. I've never really had a balance issue with a Jason before. But yeah, there's nothing that I can do. I've not, through this entire review, I've been holding him by his feet. And yeah, he just will not stand up. So let's get an accessory in his hand. Maybe that will balance it out. Just found another bad. He doesn't really hold accessories that well. His hand is actually so closed, you can't really put a machete in there. This big, huge iron spike, though, slid right through there. But something more bulky, like the machete handle, I couldn't get to fit. Okay, so let's see, even with this spike, maybe it will balance him out. No. So that's just weird. I don't really understand why he just has a issue where he falls backwards. I don't understand what happened here. I don't know what NECA did to... Oh, wait a minute. Is he standing? He's standing. I got him to stand. So now, as long as I don't breathe on him, he should be okay. But he's going to have to stand like this. Sort of... Oh, no, there he goes. No, now he's falling forward. Because now he's... Is he going to stand? Is he going to stand? I think that's it. He's standing. Alright, so there you go. There is Roy from Friday the 13th. Part 5 on Friday the 13th. Do the good outweigh the bad on this? I would say yes. You can buy a NECA stand or any other stand really that will fit these figures and put him on there so he does stand up. Ooh, now he's standing. So you just have to be very careful. The good does outweigh the bad here on him. They did such a great job with the sculpts, and that's why I keep coming back to NECA, because of their sculpts being so good. Even though some of the other parts of the figure, like being able to stand up, may not be that great, or parts falling off. I haven't had any problems with joints on this figure. I think the joints are really nice. They're really stiff, and they're not loose like some of the other Jasons I've had, so I had zero issues with those. So there you've had it. There is Jason from part 5. And I still have a ton of figures on the way. I have a whole shelf of them to review for you guys. I have a lot of horror movies, a lot of Maniacs, a lot of slashers, a lot of video game stuff still on the way. I just got a ton of stuff. And now he's standing on his own, so I don't know exactly what just happened there. Well, it is Friday the 13th, so strange things happen. And please hit that subscribe button so I can see you guys next time here on It Figures.